Give people a second to get in here before I start the show. While we're waiting on getting started here, oh, go away. You go away. I will talk. Let's check in on Instagram and TikTok here. What are you guys saying? I feel like Comedy Central should consider shooting an opportunity your way. Yeah, I agree. Hit me up, Comedy Central. Does Comedy Central still exist? Didn't they get bought by... Aren't they MTV or something now? I don't know. The industry's all screwed up. Okay, I'm live on YouTube now, so you're going to want to go there. And welcome to another fucking live. Let's, well, I missed a bunch of, Trump spoke a lot this week. Specifically yesterday. He held, a few press conferences. And, I didn't watch any of it. I was busy yesterday, and unfortunately I didn't have a chance to go live. And, I'm thinking a lot of people probably didn't see it. So we're going to watch it today together. And yeah, it's a day late, but you know what? Be honest with yourself. Did you watch it yesterday? Probably not. You may have seen clips or quotes taken out of context. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm still sweating. Yes, it's hot in my... Yeah, thank you. You can obviously see clips and quotes and things going around, but you should really watch these things for yourself so that you know when someone is just taking out a piece out of context or something like that. So the first thing we're going to watch is, it's kind of short. Trump was talking about... He was making an economic announcement. If you remember earlier, I think last week, he... was it earlier this week? I think it was last week. He fired... It's all a blur, guys. I read so much fucking news. He fired the person in charge of our jobs data numbers, the Federal Business Bureau, and hired someone new, and this new guy came in, and now they're doing a presentation together. So that's what we're about to watch.
We're going to have just a quick session. With
just a quick
Moore.
session.
Everybody knows Steve Moore with the Heritage Foundation, highly respected, one of the most highly respected economists and people that watch your money and know more about your money and your life than probably anybody I can think of. And I want to thank Steve for being here. I saw this today. They came out. What he puts out gets a lot of coverage, and I saw some of them, and then he had a couple of others. And I'd like to ask Steve maybe to discuss a few of these numbers that were just
Let me know how the volume is.
Just released. And then we're going over and we're going to do Purple Heart. We have some incredible, brave people that I look forward to. So we're going to do that right after this. Steve, could you say a few words?
Hello to Jordan.
Thank you, Mr. President. So I called the president because I had some very good news from some new data that we've been able to put together that no one has ever seen before, and I'll just very quickly...
Oh, we got some new secret data.
Telling the president...
The jobs numbers, by the way, hold on, wait, pause.
Pause.
In case you haven't been watching my reports or you didn't catch this, the reason that he fired the lady who was in charge of the jobs data is because she kept adjusting the numbers. So she reported them as being really good numbers under Biden in the last few months of Biden's presidency. And then after Trump took over, she revised them and was like, oh, actually, they weren't as good as I had said that they were. And then she did the same thing to Trump. She revised, she gave bad numbers, and then she revised. She was like, oh, it's not that bad, but it was bad. And he just thought that, according to him, he just thought something fishy was going on, and that she was making up the numbers to make him look bad. Whether or not that's true, hard to say, obviously. I've read economists that say that there's always adjustments and that these weren't irregular. But, it's certainly not out of the question, right? It's certainly possible that she was goosing numbers to make him look bad or Biden better or whatever.
Head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, because this shows that over the last 2 years of the Biden administration, the BLS overestimated job creation by 1.5 million jobs. Mr. President, that's a gigantic...
We knew that.
And I don't
she
know
adjusted
them.
It might not have been an error. That's the bad part. If it was an error, it would be
Right.
one thing. I don't think it's an
Look
error.
at
I
that
think they did it
tie.
purposely.
Well, that yellow tie, that neon yellow tie, my goodness.
It's incompetence. Okay, so one.
That's a power tie if I've ever seen one. Holy shit.
We have access to the.
Can't even look directly at it.
We have access to the some data that no one else does on what has happened month by month.
Give us
with
your new
median
secret
household
data
income.
that
This is
nobody
based
else has
on
seen.
Unpublished Census Bureau data.
Sounds real
Released
trustworthy
sometime
when you
in
put
the
it
next
like
6
that.
months, but we get an advanced look at it. And so I was telling the president in his first 5 months in office, starting in January through the end of June, the average median household income adjusted for inflation for the average family in America is already up $1,174. That's a
an
huge
incredible number.
Yeah.
Just came out.
If you're $1,000 richer,
And
over
I
what
would've said
time
this,
period?
Nobody would have believed it. There's your number.
The average
You're doing well.
income is up
the next one
$1,000.
compares-
Average
we
household
finally have
median
the
income.
2024 data on what happened with real family income in the United States. And so what I did was I compared the record and Donald
Not my
Trump's first
households.
term
What
with the
he
Joe
said.
Biden first term. And you can see that.
Yeah, I don't feel-
by the
I
way,
don't feel
these
$1,000
dotted lines here,
richer.
Mr. President, that's COVID. So if it had not been for COVID, these numbers would have been
amazing.
substantially better. But
Okay,
even
so
taking
he's
into
saying
account, President Trump's
that
last
dip
term
there,
in
that if you look really closely, it's a dotted
we
line
saw, a
because of COVID.
$6,400
But then
real
shouldn't the
inflation gain in income for the average
Biden
family,
line also be
and
dotted
that
for
compared
COVID
with
at
Joe
the beginning
Biden,
there?
which was a measly $551. So, Mr. President,
Yeah, you can
we
actually
gained
see
10
during
times
Biden's
more income for
presidency
average family
the
than Joe Biden
continuation
is
of the
because your
downtrend,
policy.
and then it starts to
And
go
that's
up.
Taking into consideration COVID.
Because we bottomed in
Which
2022. I
a lot
know
of
that they
times you
love
don't have to do
the
that.
narrative
We were
that
operating
Biden
zero.
was running things
No,
into
we
the
were
ground, but in
18,000.
fact,
Look at that number.
things were trending down during the beginning of his presidency and then
So,
turned around towards
then we
the end.
looked at,
I mean, that
which families
I don't love
did the
Biden or
best.
anything.
We
That's
have
just what
data
happened.
from the Census Bureau that shows by income percentage. So the 25th percentile is the lowest income, 75th percentile is the highest income. And what I find fascinating about this, Mr. President, is every income group did better. The red is President Trump, the blue is President Biden. Every single income group did better under President Trump. But what's really amazing is look what happened under Biden. The lowest income
This is
group.
This is
lost
from
income.
Trump's
They were
first
poor
presidency?
4 years after Biden's presidency. No gain virtually whatsoever for the middle class. And the rich was the only group that did better under Biden, which is ironic because Biden keeps saying he was trying to get rid of income inequality. He made income inequality worse, not better. It was President Trump that reduced income inequality.
well, it's
These are
ironic.
the
It's ironic because
And I'm fine with
rich Republicans don't give Biden credit for making them
these are the
richer.
numbers just in
So if that's
I just
true,
showed
then
you in percentage terms.
Wouldn't they have been more in favor of Biden if that
Mr.
were the
President,
case?
These are the numbers in dollar terms. So even the lowest income, 25th percent, gained about $4,000 income. That's a lot for a lower income family. $6,400 for the middle class and almost $10,000 for the richest. So you can see every income group did better under Trump than Biden by a wide margin. That's the story.
I think when you look at them, they're all something, but this one chart really says it better than anything. If you look at this is great, but this chart is pretty amazing right here.
Pretty amazing. It
All the numbers.
it goes up. What's that y-axis there?
Okay. So we're gonna go
It goes
now
from
over
200 to 1,200.
to East Room, and we're gonna celebrate some
That
very brave
huge
people
rise is
with the
$700.
Purple Hearts. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, just to follow up on the India tariffs, do you expect increased trade negotiations, since you've announced the 50% tariff?
No, not until we get it resolved.
I think things just fell apart with that today, right?
Vladimir Putin agreeing to a ceasefire still stand tomorrow, or is that fluid now that the talks?
Say it, what?
Is your deadline still standing for Vladimir Putin to agree to a ceasefire tomorrow, or is that fluid now?
It's
that
gonna
the
be
talks-
up to him.
And do you,
We're gonna see what he has to say. It's gonna be up to him. Very disappointed, yeah.
and do you have to meet with, does Putin have to meet with Zelensky in order and before you and Putin have to meet? Or are you,
No.
are you
So
hoping
you're
for,
willing to, that's actually important because President Putin said this morning he was pretty dismissive of this idea of meeting with President
Who was?
Zelensky. President Putin was.
I don't know. I didn't hear
For you
him.
to meet with him, he doesn't have to agree to meet with Zelensky. Is that what you're saying?
No, he doesn't. No.
So when do you think that meeting?
They would like to meet with me, and I'll do whatever I can to stop the killing. So last month, they lost 14,000 people killed last month. Every week is 4,000 or 5,000 people. So I don't like long waits. I think it's a shame. And they're mostly soldiers. They're Ukrainian and Russian soldiers, and some people from the cities where, you know, missiles are lobbed in and you'll lose 35.
Someone said they went
40
from
people
income
a night.
numbers straight to war. Yeah,
is terrible.
I mean,
But
look,
no,
the press
mostly
gets to
it's
ask whatever they
soldiers.
want to ask. They're not always the
And
best.
you're talking about, on average, 20,000 a month. 20,000 people are dying a month. Young, generally young people, soldiers. We're going to speak about soldiers. We'll see you over for Purple Heart. Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. President, how do we know these numbers aren't just made up? Oh, they don't let me in the White House. I don't get to be part of the press briefings. They have a new media seat, but I think it's only for people who will not ask those sorts of questions. They were like, hey, we released all these numbers, all this jobs data earlier this week. Well, we found new special numbers that make everything better. I'm not saying it's wrong or false. I'm just saying it's a little suspicious. It's okay to be skeptical. Now, he said that those jobs numbers would be released in a few months. So, you know, we get those the public gets those numbers much later. So hopefully those numbers will reflect what he's saying. But I mean, I have no way of verifying that they got those numbers the right way. You know what I mean? What else happened yesterday? Trump made an announcement.
Bombers with those pilots.
All right,
We had them.
hold on. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Oh! We got the band playing.
Please. Nice crowd. I
This
can
was
hear
also
a
yesterday, by
young,
the way.
beautiful voice
He's been
in the
getting
background,
around.
and that's good. That makes
Trump
us
does a
all
lot.
feel young.
I mean, whether you like him or hate
I want
him.
to thank everybody
He's
for
doing
being here on
a lot.
200th day in office. This is 200 days already. Time flies. But we have
wanna get rid of
a
that,
country that's the
little
hottest country
POTUS phone
right
number
now
thing.
anywhere in the world. A year ago, it was in a lot of trouble. It's the hottest country. And
The
a lot of
hottest.
the people in this room made it that way. Perhaps the most successful and consequential first 200 days, they say, of an administration in history. So let's hope they keep saying it. There they are right there.
Let's hope they keep saying
They keep saying
it.
it.
Well, you
But
got to
even
keep
more
doing it.
importantly, this is also National Purple Heart Day, and we're here to honor and celebrate the unyielding patriotism and grit and devotion to America's Purple Heart veterans is great emotion and great love. The Purple Heart dates back to August 7th, 1782. That's a long time, when General George Washington awarded a heart-shaped purple cloth to 3 soldiers for outstanding gallantry and service in battle.
The yellow tie isn't back.
afternoon,
It's the
we're joined by
same
dozens
day.
of Purple Heart
He went from that
recipients and
other
their
thing
families,
to
and
this thing.
just as General Washington did 243 years ago. Today we give our everlasting thanks to
It is an insanely
unbelievable
eye-catching
families.
tie,
I want to
though.
thank you very much for being here. It's my great honor.
Happy Friday. I've got my coffee. Is it spiked
We're
with
also
something? I
joined
can't tell
by
you.
American patriots who love our military and our veterans, including Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth. You're doing a great job, Pete. Thank you. We're working hard together. Secretary of Veterans Affairs with 92% approval rating, I hear. It's a record. Doug Collins. Thank you very much, Doug. The Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard. She's got a lot of interesting things happening in the last 2 months. A lot of interest. Keep it coming, Tulsi. Keep it coming.
Thanks, Mr. Pickles.
Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Kane, my friend, who I knew a long time ago. He got rid of ISIS in record time. They said it was going to take 4 to 5 years. He did it in 4 weeks. That's when I said, if I get into this again, I'm going to make him the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, and that's what happened. Great job, and he did an incredible job in Iran. I want to thank you very much. Great job, General. Deputy Secretary of Energy and
All right,
Purple
I'm
Heart
gonna.
recipient,
He's just
James Danley.
He's naming other people here.
People when they weren't
I thought maybe there would be some
bliss.
press questions.
Years. Who knew that, Pete?
Maybe not.
That was a year. For 22 years. Who knew that, Pete? And I said, you mean...
So he's giving Purple
you
Hearts to
knew
people.
exactly what to do. He said...
Honestly, I thought there'd be
every
more
single year, 4
related
times a
to,
year, we practice.
Our lives. Not that it's not important. It's just not what I was looking for. I think there should be one other thing that I wanted to watch with you all, though. This. Maybe? Should we watch the Apple? Tim Cook? Did you all see Tim Cook sucking on Trump's dick? It's funny because I thought Tim Cook was like a liberal icon. And then he's really... I didn't think that he got along with Trump for some reason. I just didn't know.
One of the truly great
Judging by this,
legends of
what
our
happened
time,
yesterday,
my
definitely
book.
they get along. 2 days ago, excuse
Before
me.
we begin,
This was
I'd
on the
like to
6th.
say a few words about the shooting at Fort Stewart in Georgia.
That's
As
good.
you know, 5
See, that's a
people seriously
good
wounded
presidential
and
thing
2
to do.
Very, very seriously hurt around 11 o'clock this morning.
There was
The
a...
shooter is now
I don't
in
know if you would
custody,
call it a mass shooting, but there was a
and
shooting.
The Army Criminal Investigation Division is on site to ensure that the perpetrator of this atrocity, which is exactly what it is, will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. The entire nation is praying for the victims and their families, and hopefully they'll fully recover, and we can put this chapter behind, but we're not going to forget what happened. We're going to take
Gina says
very
she's
good
got
care of
18-year-old
this
whiskey for when everything gets
person,
better.
this horrible person.
I would save that for when everything gets
We're
worse.
pleased to welcome to the White House one of the great and most esteemed business leaders and geniuses and innovators anywhere in the world, Apple CEO Tim Cook. It's an amazing job. Thanks as well to Secretary of the Treasury Scott Bessent and Secretary of Commerce Howard Lutnick for being here, wherever you may be. Oh, there you are. Hello, fellas. I missed you. Today, Apple is
Literally
announcing
standing
they
right
will
here, sir.
invest
We've been next to you all day.
$600 billion, that's with a B, in the United States over the next 4 years. That's $100 billion more than they were originally going to invest. And this is the largest investment Apple has ever made in America and anywhere else. And it's just an honor to have you. As you know, Apple's been an investor in other countries a little bit. I won't say which ones, but a couple. And, they're
China.
they're coming
The
home.
one he won't say is China.
$600 billion. It's the biggest there is. The company is also unveiling its ambitious new American manufacturing program, which will bring factories and assembly lines across our country, all roaring to life. Areas that were not doing so well are doing very well. We have about $17 trillion coming into the United States, which is more than ever before. That's never even come close. There's never been anything like it. Even you, that's even a lot of money for you. But we have commitments of more than $17 trillion. That was as of a couple of weeks ago. These investments will directly create more than 20,000 brand new American jobs and many thousands more at the Apple suppliers like Corning, Broadcom, Texas Instruments, and
More than
Samsung
20,000 new
will
jobs.
deal in that world. As
What kind of
part this
jobs do you
historic
think?
Commitment, Apple will massively increase spending on its domestic supply chain for the iPhone.
Obviously, we're
and
not going to
will
have
build
like
largest
sweatshop
and most
jobs, right?
sophisticated
The
smart
ones that
glass
they
production
use
line in the world. in
Foxconn and Chinese
Harrodsburg, Kentucky,
companies
which is
to
a
like
great-
put.
actually,
They need
I
little
did very
tiny
well there. I
hands
liked
to
it
put
because
together the
I did
chips.
very well there. I did very well in Kentucky, but it's a great place. You're going to be very happy.
I hope it's
thought
not those
maybe,
jobs.
While we're up, I'll interrupt my own speech by you might show them a little bit about the product that you're going to be doing in Kentucky, Tim.
Absolutely. Do you mind if I step over
Yes,
here?
please.
This sign was made here in the U.S., in California.
Oh no, someone give him a mic.
This glass.
Project
comes off
Tim.
the recording line. It's engraved for President Trump. It's a unique unit of one. It was designed by a U.S. Marine Corps corporal, a former one, that works at Apple now.
That's good. He's done well.
Designed it for you. And the base comes from Utah and is 24 karat gold. And it is
24 karat gold base
liberty of setting it up.
for a special, super expensive glass thing.
Well,
It's not an award. What do you call that? Plaque? It's pretty.
congratulations.
Apple knows how to design something pretty, that's for sure.
The great people of Kentucky. You're going to
The
find
great
it a
people
great
of
place to do business
Kentucky.
too.
They
It's,
gave me some gold.
fantastic. Isn't that nice? We're doing these things now in the United States instead of other countries, faraway countries. This is a significant step toward the ultimate goal of ensuring that iPhones sold in the United States of America also are made in America. With the mass infusion of capital it's announcing today, Apple will also build a 250,000 square foot server manufacturing facility in Houston and invest billions of dollars to construct data centers across the country from North Carolina to Iowa to Oregon. That's big stuff. Apple will also open state-of-the-art manufacturer economy. It's going to be a manufacturing academy in Detroit, and that's
A
a great place
manufacturing
to do.
economy
big
or
things are
academy?
happening in Michigan and Detroit. They're coming in because of what we've done with the, I call it the Great Big Beautiful Bill. I added one word, great. But we have probably the biggest, most comprehensive piece of legislation ever passed. It's going to mean unbelievable numbers of jobs and no jobs on, think of this, whether it's tips or overtime or Social Security, no tax. So no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime. And there's just a small bit of it. For Apple and others businesses, we're talking about the deductions and all of the things. And actually for people that go out and buy a car, first time it's ever been done, we talk about deductions for companies, but they're going to be able to deduct interest when they borrow money to buy a car if it's made in America. It has to be made in America. So it is amazing. And one of the reasons I think I can say that Apple's coming here is the legislation we just passed with this kind of investment. Apple will also open other facilities, rare earth magnets from
Kind of went off on a
Texas
tangent
and
there.
Build, oh, I love that you're doing this.
None of that had to do with
I
Apple.
love that. And build a brand new rare earth recycling line in Mountain Pass,
That does.
California. I know that area. That's where they have a lot of truly rare earth. That's fantastic. I love that. And Apple will help develop and manufacture semiconductors and semiconductor equipment in Texas.
The last rare
Utah,
earth
Arizona,
Apple
and
used,
New
by the
York.
way, to
For
make the
years,
floors
Americans have
in
watched
their
as many of our
retail
leading
stores,
tech giants
they
build their
completely
factories
depleted
overseas and
the
exported American
Earth's
jobs abroad.
reserves
But under the Trump
of that.
administration, we're doing
They had to-
everything possible
they had to
make
change what
this
they
the
used
best
because
place
they
on
used
earth
it
to
all.
build a factory or grow businesses. I'm
Little
allowing
fun
them
fact
to build
for you.
electric producing plants with their factory, because otherwise they'd have to hook into the grid. And I think it's one of the biggest things we've done where you can build, Tim, your own electricity. You become your own electric manufacturer, and that goes along with the plant. So you become a utility. So congratulations, now you're in the utility. I hope they don't value your company based on utility, but that's okay. You're gonna be making your own electricity, and as you probably know, for much of this and many of the things that we're doing, especially the AI, they would need actually double the electricity that the country now produces for everything. So it's massive electric, and they're going to be able to make their own, and they're getting very fast approvals. Lee Zeldin is doing a fantastic job, including with a 100% expensing on the one big beautiful bill. In return, we're asking our businesses to invest in America, and they're coming in at levels that we've never seen before. So I don't know when it shows up, but there are a lot of factories and a lot of plants that are either under construction or soon will be starting construction.
Do you guys use Apple
Can't
products?
tell you exactly when, but
Are my followers? Is there
I wanna
crossover
be,
with my followers
around
and
in
Apple
about a year
products?
from
Maybe.
now and
I feel like everybody
2
has an
years from now,
iPhone.
because we're going to see.
Although I got a lot of comments about
explosion, I think,
Androids
like this country has
yesterday,
never
so.
seen before.
Do you have an
Never.
iPhone? Do you have a Mac?
Today's
computer?
announcement is one of the largest
Do you have an
commitments
iPad?
in what has become among the greatest investment booms in our nation's history, and we've got the hottest country anywhere in the world. You know, I told you the story that, and Tim, I'll tell you, but I went to the Middle East and I was with Qatar, I was with UAE and the King of Saudi Arabia, all great leaders. And then I went to NATO and
Wow, a
saw
lot of
many
no
great
iPhone
leaders.
people,
So I
actually.
just
Interesting.
Finished that about 4 weeks ago. Virtually everyone said, in effect, that we were a dead country 1 year ago. America, this was a dead country. We were dying, we were dead. And now you've got
You
the
know, it's
hottest
interesting that he
country
keeps
anywhere in the
saying
world.
that everyone
This
was
would've never
calling
happened
us a
except
dead
for-
country because I never heard anybody say that
Thank you
except for
very
him.
much. I appreciate it.
I didn't
NVIDIA
hear, never
is
did I hear
investing
any
500
foreign leader or anybody
to go
say
along with Apple,
America's a
600
dead
billion,
country
600
until
billion.
Trump came out and
Micron,
said
a
everybody
great
thinks
company,
we're a
is
dead
investing
country.
200 billion. IBM is investing more than 150
Now we're
billion.
hot.
SoftBank
Hot.
is investing substantially more than 100 billion. TSMC is investing 200 billion. Johnson & Johnson 55 billion. Merck, Stellantis, and General Motors are putting many, many billions in. They haven't determined the final number. And many other countries are investing tens of billions of dollars that I'm not going to give you the whole list because the list is too long to read. But it's hundreds of billions and even trillions. I mean, it's trillions of dollars that's being invested right now. Last week, it was announced that our economy grew at 3% in the second quarter, and consumer confidence is surging. Blue-collar wages are rising rapidly. Costs are
If
way
any
down.
of you
know,
guys
I
are blue
listen
collar
to
workers
these
in my chat,
horrendous
tell me if
frauds
you're
on
if you feel
CNN
that
and
you're
various
doing better.
other, fake news networks, and they say costs are up. No, costs are down. Gasoline is down. It's going to soon, I believe, be less than $2 a gallon.
Yeah.
It's around
Tell me
$2.40
if
right now.
your gas and
Prices
food
other than in
prices
California
are down.
where they tax you out of business.
Last
But,
week, some
and a
people
couple
said
of
that
others,
it
but,
was down a little bit.
gasoline
Not
is
as much
way
as he
down.
says it is, but
The price of groceries are down.
this is good. I like to
about
check
eggs?
in
When I
every
first
once in a
came here,
while.
my
Are we
first
really
week,
feeling these prices coming down?
The press hit me very hard on eggs. Eggs had quadrupled or something. I said, I didn't know about it. Give me a chance. I've just been here for 4 days. Well, eggs are down. Everything's down. Price is down.
The
only
bird,
thing that's
the
up
bird
is stock
flu
prices.
thing that
That's
was
really
happening with the eggs.
up. And that's
Has
through
been
the roof.
fixed.
The stock market has
To
been
be
hitting
clear.
all-time records.
As far as eggs go, I don't know how much.
Last week it was announced that our economy grew at levels that we haven't seen in a long time, but the real levels of growth are going to be judged in a year from now when you start seeing some of these incredible plants, because we have car plants opening. They're coming in from Canada, from Mexico, and from all over the world. And they're coming in because they like the way the election worked out, but they also like the fact that they don't want to pay tariffs.
People are saying
And,
gas is
the
down in
tariffs,
Ohio.
I think we're taking
not in
hundreds
California.
of billions of dollars in tariffs. I won't be so specific other than to say, because we don't even know what the final number is. We just made a deal, as you know, with the EU where they're paying hundreds of billions of dollars. Japan paying hundreds of billions of dollars, and numerous other countries paying hundreds
Someone
of
says
billions
down
of dollars.
in
And,
Texas.
we're not even completed there. And as you know, they found 25 billion.
Down in upstate New York.
3 weeks ago, they said we
Up
have a
in
surplus
Amsterdam.
of
That doesn't really
$25
count.
billion. And
Trump's
they said,
not
where did this
doing
come from?
anything
They
for
said, check the
Amsterdam.
tariffs, and they checked. They said, you're right, that's where it came from.
Not in
And
Colorado.
we've really just started. This is just in its infancy. So we have a great country. We have a country that is going to be very rich. It's a country that we're very proud of, but it's going to be very rich. And it's companies like Apple. They're coming home.
I can't wait
They're
till
all
we're
coming
rich,
home.
guys. That
And we want them
Man,
to come home. They have to
that
come
will
home.
be great.
We're going to treat them really well. We're going to be putting a very large tariff on chips and semiconductors. But the good news for companies like Apple is if you're building in the United States or have committed to build, without question committed to build in the United States, there will be no charge. In other words, we're not going to be charging. So a lot of countries, a lot of companies are leaving various other places and they're coming to the United States. So in other words,
Interesting.
we'll be putting
It's a
tariff
little
of
different than
approximately
what he said
100%
previously.
on chips and semiconductors. But if you're building in the United States of America, there's no charge, even though you're building and you're not producing yet in terms of the big numbers of jobs and all of the things that you're building. If you're building, there will be no charge. So I just wanted
Wow.
you to know that. And I didn't even tell you that inside. We discussed the concept. But
100% tariffs on semiconductors and chips.
100%
Unless all you have to do is commit to building.
coming into the United States. But if you've made
In
a
the
commitment
US.
to build, or if you're in the process of building, as many
Interesting.
are, there is
Okay.
no tariff. Okay? If for some reason you say you're building and you don't build, then we go back and we add it up. It accumulates.
We're gonna charge
and
you
we
anyway.
Charge you at a later date. You have to pay, and that's.
I
a
mean,
guarantee.
that kind of makes sense.
That's a big statement.
I would
and
say
think,
that's okay.
the
Spend
chip
more
companies are all coming
here
back home. They're
and
all
avoid the
coming
tariffs.
Back. You know, we started with
It's a little
Intel,
different than what he was saying.
and gradually
before,
Intel was
but
just taken
This,
over.
I like this.
Over the coals. They were taken to the cleaners, frankly, and moved to other places, in particular Taiwan. But I think a lot of those companies are coming back, and they're coming back very rapidly. So that's a big statement. 100% tariff. I want to thank you very much, Tim. Would you like to say a few words about your company, please?
Good afternoon, everyone. Mr. President, thank you very much for having me here today. You've been a great advocate for American innovation and manufacturing. I'm grateful for your leadership and your commitment. That's a commitment we share at Apple because American innovation is central to everything we do. Our products are designed here, we're hiring and growing here, and we support 450,000 jobs with thousands of suppliers and partners in all 50 states. Earlier this year,
The biggest company in the United
we
States.
made our largest ever spending commitment, $500 billion to the U.S. over the next 4 years. That's already yielding results. Earlier this year, we broke ground on a new factory in Houston to make advanced AI servers. And just last month, the very first test unit rolled off that factory's line, proudly made in America.
Interesting.
President Trump shared some kind words
Probably still
about
has
that
some
work,
parts from outside of America, but
he also asked us to think about what more we could commit to doing. And Mr. President, we took that challenge very seriously. I'm glad to be here with you today, and I'm very proud to say that today we're committing an additional $100 billion to the United States, bringing our total U.S. investment to $600 billion over the next 4 years. As a part of this,
What if
we're
you just
launching
paid off
Apple's
some of
American
our debt?
manufacturing program. It
Some of
will
the
spur
country's
even
debt.
more
What if you just
production right
fed
here in America
all the hungry
for
people
critical
in
components
the world
used in
instead?
Apple products all around the world? And we're thrilled to announce that we've already signed new agreements with 10 companies across America to do just that.
That makes sense.
First,
that
with
they would have
today's
to
announcements,
partner
I'm
with other
proud to
companies.
say that Apple is leading the creation of an end-to-end silicon supply chain right here in America.
Apple
from design to
loves
equipment to
end-to-end
wafer
control.
production
That's like their
to
whole main
fabrication
thing.
to packaging. In Texas, we're working with manufacturers like Texas Instruments, Global Wafers America, and Applied Materials. We're working with Amcor in Arizona and Broadcom and Global Foundries in New York. Thanks to President Trump's vision and with his help in his first term, we also led the way to bring TSMC to Arizona by committing to be their first and largest customer. Today, they're producing tens of millions of chips for Apple using one of the most advanced process technologies in America today.
Interesting.
We're
So
going
that
to
may
keep working
actually
with our suppliers to move even more of this
forego the
incredibly
sweatshops.
advanced work to America. And this year alone,
Thanks,
American
Darian.
manufacturers are on
Darian
track
says you the best,
to
bro.
make
Keep
19 billion
going.
chips
Found you
for
on
Apple
Instagram.
in 24
You're the man, dude. I
factories
appreciate the
across 12
$1.99. It
states.
goes to keeping the channel
Second,
going.
We're committed to
We
buying
keep the channel going
American-made advanced
basically
rare earth
just on,
magnets developed by MP
on viewers
Materials,
like you, and I really
which will
appreciate
become
it, bro.
part of Apple's devices shipped around the world. MP is the only fully integrated rare earth producer in the United States, and with this partnership, they'll be significantly expanding their flagship facility in Fort Worth, Texas. We're also thrilled to work together on a cutting-edge rare earth recycling line in Mountain Pass, California. And third, in Kentucky, we've worked with our partners at Corning to build the world's largest and most advanced smartphone glass production line. And I'm pleased to announce that very soon, this is for the first time ever, every single new iPhone.
Someone said I had no idea Apple was so attached to this
Apple
man. Yeah.
Watch sold anywhere in the world will contain cover glass made in Kentucky. In addition to the American manufacturing program, we're also significantly growing our
big
investments
deal.
in AI,
This is a really big business
including
deal.
expanding data center capacity in North Carolina, in Nevada.
Apple
in
has
Iowa,
been,
in Arizona,
they spend
in
a lot of money in
Oregon.
other countries producing
So
their
we're
stuff
going to
for
keep
cheap.
making investments right here in America.
The question is,
We're
will the
going to keep
prices of the
hiring in
products
America.
stay the same?
And we're going to
That's
keep
the real
building
question.
technologies at the heart of our products.
Our iPhone's
right
about to be
here in America.
$2,000 next year.
Because we're a proud American company and we believe deeply in the promise of this great nation. Thank you all, and thank you, President Trump, for putting American innovation and American jobs front and center. Thank you, sir.
Great honor.
Thank you.
It's like such
Thank
a
you.
great, big
What
announcement.
a job he's done.
He doesn't need to glaze Trump at
I
the
want to
same
thank you
time.
very much, and thank you, JD, for helping along. Good job, really good job. Any questions, please?
A little credit to JD.
You promised on the campaign trail to bring forth a manufacturing renaissance. You just mentioned $17 trillion in your first 7 months or so.
Right.
Can you talk about how an investment like this, all the other ones that you laid out, will positively impact the millions of Americans that trusted you with their vote?
Thank you very much. It changes our country. I mean, our country is a very different country than it was 6 months ago. And
It's true.
people like Tim are coming. We had Micron in yesterday. We had all of the big, great companies that you read about, you don't know about, but you read about. Many of them were making products outside of our country. Foolishly, we lost them. If we had the right person sitting in that seat, that would have never happened 20 and 30 years ago. When you look at the chip business, it would have never left our shores. We had 100% of chips originally, and then we slowly got taken down to nothing. We have
That's kind of true.
the biggest chip companies, the both of them, but we have the biggest in the world coming in. They're going to Arizona and beyond.
And beyond. I know Micron just built some huge facility in New York.
Of the chips from starting in nothing, and that's something. But we have the greatest companies in the world coming into our country, and that means jobs, and it means wealth, and wealth means security for our people. Okay, Brian.
Yes, sir. Congratulations on this investment, President Trump.
Thank you.
A great example of putting America first. What does the labor force look like to fill these jobs that you have? Do we have enough skilled American workers to fill these?
Well, we do have a lot of workers, and we have a lot of workers that hadn't been looking for work because they were disincentivized, frankly. And people like Tim have tremendous
Tell me
schools and
if
training
you
centers
have
that they
been
build
out of
along with
work
a lot of their big
and then
plants where they
didn't
train
look for
people,
work
on
because
whether
you
it's glass,
were collecting
like in
unemployment and that
Kentucky,
was good enough.
Computers or whatever they
I've collected
might
on.
be
I'm a
doing.
filmmaker,
It's a
so I've
complex
collected
world, and they
unemployment in
train
between
people, and they
gigs,
do a great
and
job. So it's a
for me,
whole
it did not
new,
really pay the bills. But
workforce.
tell me
Now,
in the
there are a lot
comments
of them
if
in energy, because you know
if it did
they've
for
always
you.
liked energy. As you know, coal has opened up big. We brought it back in a very large way. You know, China's right now building 58 coal-fired plants, 58 big ones. And here we were saying we don't take coal. We have more coal than anybody else in the world. We have more oil and gas than anybody else in the world. But we have tremendous energy jobs, and the energy, as you know, we're booming with energy. And that's why the gasoline prices are down. The costs are down. I just hope when they watch these shows, I watch this, I won't use names because I just make them better known that nobody knows who they are. But I watch this group of people on CNN and MSDNC too, the same thing, where they say, well, costs have gone up. Costs haven't gone up, they've gone down. I'm telling you, the thing that's gone up is stock prices, and success of our country. Our country is really, really doing well, successful. Yes, ma'am?
Yes, Mr. President, have Putin and Zelensky agreed to a summit yet? And where and when would that be?
Well, there's a very good prospect.
Thank you,
that they
good
will.
vibes only.
And
I
we
love
haven't
your,
determined where, but we had some very
username.
good talks with President Putin today.
I'm here for the good vibes.
And there's a very good chance that we could be.
I know I deliver a lot of bad
ending
vibes,
the
but
round, ending the end of that road. That
hopefully I
road
do it in a
was,
way that makes you feel
long and
like you got a
continues to
friend.
be long, but there's a good chance that there will be a meeting very
How close do you
soon.
think you are to a deal?
Excuse me?
How close do you think you are to some kind of?
Well, I don't want to say. I've been disappointed before with this one. We've solved
He's been
5
disappointed
wars,
a couple times with
plus,
Russia. He
add
seems a
to
little
that
disillusioned.
Iran, where we wiped out their nuclear capacity for weapons. They would have had a weapon within 2 months, maybe less, and that was totally obliterated. Turned out it was a total obliteration, and the pilots and the people that did that job are really. We have the greatest armed forces in the world, but that was really something. In fact, there's a model of the plane right there. You got to bring that up, Susie. We have to see that. Look at this. This was just given to me. We ordered brand new B-2 bombers. This is a plane that over a period of 36 hours of constant flying. Look at this. So this is the brand new one they just ordered. Similar, but actually quite different.
It looks a lot like
It's
the old one.
new and enhanced.
It's a lot smaller than the last one.
36
I'm just
hours.
kidding. It's a model.
We had 52 tankers
Get it.
up in the air loading
It's
up
not
our
actual
planes
size.
because this was surrounded by F-22s and F-35s, and it was flawless, Tim. Even you would say it was flawless. And every one of those bombs hit their target. And then we had Tomahawks shot in from a submarine 300 miles away, and they hit every single Tomahawk hit its target. It was amazing. And that was a big threat. That was a nuclear threat. And here's the new one that we just ordered, a large number of them.
Mr. President, what was the breakthrough today? Did Vladimir Putin make some kind of concession that he hasn't been willing to make before?
I don't call it a breakthrough. I mean, we've been working on this a long time. There are thousands of young people dying, mostly soldiers, but also, missiles being hit into Kiev and other places. But in terms of soldiers, I think Russia's lost over 20,000 since the beginning of the year. 20,000. And I guess the estimate for Ukraine is about 9,000. It's a terrible situation. We want to get it stopped. We don't have American soldiers there, but I feel I have an obligation to get it stopped. This was not my war. This war would have never started, not even a chance. And it didn't start for 4 years. It went 4 years and didn't start. But this is Biden's war. This was on his watch. And it's funny, we had no land was taken from Trump. It was taken from Bush. It was taken from Biden. The whole thing they would take from Biden. If it weren't for us. But it was taken by Obama. Take a look at what was taken with all of the land that was taken. Nothing was taken by Russia from us. Not 1 ounce of land was taken. I'm here to get the thing over with. It would have never started if I were president, and we're here to get it stopped and get the death stopped. Yeah, please.
President, in the past, you said you would know if Putin was tackling you along. What gives you any confidence that he is or isn't doing that this time around?
Can't answer the question yet. I'll tell you in a matter of weeks, maybe less. But we've made a lot of progress. And as you know, we put a 50% tariff on
Tell us
India,
about your secret talks.
on oil. They're the second largest. They're very close to China. in
Tell us
terms
all
of
the government
purchase of
secrets.
oil from Russia. But so I don't know if that had anything to do with it. But we've had very productive talks today. Yes, ma'am.
President Trump, on federalizing DC, are you considering taking over the DC police? Is that an option on the table?
We're considering it, yeah, because the crime is ridiculous. I could show you a chart comparing DC to other locations, and you're not going to want to see what it looks like. It was just up on television, actually, they were showing it. Now, we want to have a great, safe capital, and we're going to have it. And that includes cleanliness, and it includes other things. We have a capital that's very unsafe. We just almost lost a young man, beautiful, handsome guy that got the hell knocked out of him the night before last. And
You're welcome, Verk.
I'm going to call him now. We wanted to give him a little recovery time. We just put a call into him. They're calling back in a little while, but he went through a bad situation, to put it mildly. and there's too much of it. We're gonna do something about it. So whether you call it federalized or what, and that also includes the graffiti that you see, the papers all over the place, the roads that are in bad shape, the medians that are falling down, the median in between roads that's falling down. We're going to beautify the city. We're going to make it beautiful. And what a shame. The rate of crime, the rate of muggings, killings, and everything else, we're not going to let it. And that includes bringing in the National Guard, maybe very quickly, too.
Do you want Congress to look at overturning the DC Home Rule Act?
We're going to look at that. In fact, the lawyers are already studying it. We have to run DC. This has to be the best run place in the country, not the worst run place in the country. And it has so much potential, and we're going to take care of it. You're going to be safe. You're going to be safe walking down streets. You're not going to get mugged.
Mr. President, if you do reach a deal with Ukraine and Russia, would you drop the additional tariffs on India?
Well, we'll determine that later, but right now they're paying a 50% tariff. Okay?
Yeah, please. One for Mr. Cook as well.
Yeah, please. Sure.
The president wants a made in the USA iPhone. What are the chances that you can actually make that happen?
Well, if you look at the bulk of it, we're doing a lot of the semiconductors here. We're doing the glass here. We're doing the Face ID module here. So there's a ton of it. And we're doing these for products sold elsewhere in the world. And so there's a lot of content in there for the United States.
But what about the whole thing?
We're very proud of it.
Can you make the whole thing
is
here?
just the final assembly that you're focused on. And that will be elsewhere for a while.
He makes many of the components here, and we've been talking about it, and the whole thing is set up at other places, and it's been there for a long time. So in terms of cost and all, but I think we may incentivize him enough that one day he'll be bringing that. But he brings most of the stuff. Look, he's not making this kind of an investment anywhere in the world, not even close. He's coming back. I mean, Apple's coming back to America. Thank you.
Mr. President, Indian officials
Let me go, please.
Indian officials have said that there are other countries
Let
that
me
are buying
go.
Russian oil.
It's okay.
Like China, for instance,
It's
buying
okay.
more.
Yeah.
Why are you singling India out for these additional
It's
sanctions?
only been 8 hours, so let's see what happens over the next.
More secondary sanctions
You're going to see a lot more.
So this is a taste of
You're
what's
going to see a lot more. You're going to see so much secondary sanctions. Yes, ma'am.
You were the driving force behind
You're gonna see a
Operation
lot more.
Warp Speed,
A lot more
these
secondary
mRNA
sanctions.
vaccines that are the gold standard.
Right.
Now your health secretary is pulling back all the funding for research. He's saying that the risks outweigh the benefits, which puts him at odds with
Research
the
on
entire
what?
medical community and with you. What is going on
Research on what?
into mRNA vaccines?
Well, we're going to look at that. We're talking about it, and they're doing a very good job. And, you know, that is a past. Operation Warp Speed was, whether you're Republican or Democrat, considered one of the most incredible things ever done in this country. The efficiency, the way it was done, the distribution, everything about it has been amazing. But, you know, that was now a long time ago, and we're on to other things. But we are speaking about it. We have meetings about it in tomorrow, 12 o'clock, and we'll determine. We're looking for other answers to other problems, to other sicknesses and diseases, and I think we're doing really well. Yes, ma'am, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. You said many times that you want to stop wars in the Middle East. Now, Prime Minister Netanyahu is contemplating reoccupying Gaza entirely. Is he defying you, sir, or are you giving him a green light?
Well, we have stopped wars in the Middle East by stopping Iran from having a nuclear weapon, and they are.
Thanks for joining us, Gina.
Say they're going to start all over again, but that's a very dangerous thing for them to do, because we'll be back as soon as they start. We'll be back, and I think they understand that. They're just words, but no, we've stopped a lot of wars in the Middle East. If you think about what we did with Iran, Iran was the perpetrator of hate, a very evil place, and I think it's going to be a lot different in the coming years.
We prevented
a
war with Iran.
India penalties. Do you have any similar plans to enact more tariffs on China as it relates
Could
to their
happen.
purchases?
Could happen. Depends on how we do. Could happen. Brian,
I've got an entertainment-based question for you. A few weeks ago, Stephen Colbert announced that he was leaving his show. Howard Stern.
He did not announce that he was leaving his show.
Sirius XM Radio or parting ways. Do you think that hate Trump business model that's been in the entertainment business is going out of business because it's not popular with the American people?
Well, it hasn't worked, and it hasn't worked really for a long time, and I would say pretty much from the beginning. Colbert has no talent. I mean, I could take anybody here. I could go
Colbert
outside
has
to the
no
beautiful
talent?
streets and pick
Hold
up
on a
a couple of
second.
people that do just as well or better. They get higher
Whether or
ratings than
not
he did.
you
He's got
like
no talent. Fallon
Colbert
has no
and
talent.
what he
Kimmel
says,
has no talent. They're
he's a
next.
very
They're gonna be going. I
talented
hear
guy.
They're going to be going.
Extremely
I don't know, but I would imagine
talented
because they
writer,
could,
actor,
You know, Colbert has
producer,
better ratings
host.
than Kimmel or Fallon. You know that. Howard Stern, it's a name I haven't heard. I used to do a show, used to have fun, but I haven't heard that name in a long time. What happened? He got terminated?
Yeah, they're gonna separate ways because I think what they're offering salary-wise is real low than what he's getting.
You know when he went down?
Whenever you want.
You know when he went down? No, before. When he endorsed Hillary Clinton, he lost his audience. People said, give me a break. He went down when he endorsed Hillary Clinton.
Mr. President,
Have you talked to Governor Cuomo? Interviewing Fed candidates yet?
Yeah, we've started the interviewing process. Scott and I and Howard, a lot of people, JD, look, we have some great candidates. It's probably down to 3. He doesn't want the job. He said, do you like this job better?
Yes, sir.
I mean, he was a candidate, but I don't think he'll take it. I really don't think he'd take it, actually.
Candidates from Wall Street, Mr. President?
Yeah, essentially we're all from Wall Street, aren't we? You know, when you get right
Hey.
down to it. The term
Prince
Wall
of
Street. Yeah,
Za.
please.
Yep.
Thanks,
Maybe
dude.
tax cuts
Oh
permanent.
my
You
goodness.
mentioned the tariffs.
Giving everybody the TGIFs.
Trump
50.
We've opened up markets, the EU,
You're the
Japan,
man.
South Korea, many others.
Thanks, Chris, also for the
American
roses.
growth that we've never seen before.
I love the little
How
TikTok
much can we expect in the
things.
economy now that this model of yours is sort of
I prefer the
beginning to
hats and
really
things
take
that
off?
like
Well,
appear
I
on
think
my
the
head.
growth is going to be unprecedented. I think we're
fun.
going to have growth that's unbelievable. Now, remember, we're building and just starting to build a lot of these incredible plants. We talked about the electric facilities that we're building, the generating plants, electric generating plants. They're massive, and they're going to be great. And they're going to sell excess electricity into our grid. So we're going to be having much more electricity than we ever had. And those plants are going to be taken care of individually. I know Tim is building one in one of his big factories, but especially for AI because it needs so much electricity. So I appreciate the
Remember
question
when
very
everybody
much,
hated
and I
crypto
think the
because of
growth
how
is
much
going to be,
energy it consumed?
unprecedented.
AI is a much bigger drain.
I haven't. No, I haven't.
Mr. President, have you been briefed on what Ghislaine Maxwell told Todd Blanche?
No, I haven't. Have
You
not.
don't know whether
I
it
don't
came
know.
up in the
I know Todd
conversation
is a
or not?
very respected person all over the country, all over the world legally. So I don't know. Yeah, please go ahead.
Will the new Fed governor be?
What she was referring to was that Ghislaine,
We're probably gonna go
Ghislaine
with the temp and then a
said
permanent,
that
I
Donald,
think.
she had never witnessed Donald Trump
So,
doing anything
the temp
untoward.
is going to be named, I'd say, over the next 2-3 days, and then we're going to go permanent.
Are the two Kevins the leading contenders for the permanent spot for the chair?
Well, the two Kevins are absolutely, they're both very good. The two Kevins, very good.
Mr. President, is Vice President Vance hosting a gathering this evening to talk about how to respond to the Epstein situation?
Is he working on what?
Is he hosting some kind of gathering of top advisors this evening to talk about how to respond to the Epstein situation?
I don't know. I could ask you that question. I don't know of it, but I think, here's the man right here.
I saw it reported today, and it's completely fake news. We're not meeting to talk about the Epstein situation, and I think the reporter who reported it needs to get better sources.
Look, the whole thing is a hoax. It's put out by the Democrats because we've had the most successful 6 months in the history of our country, and that's just a way of trying to divert attention to something that's total bullshit. Okay? Yeah.
What do you guys think about that? Tell me in the chat. I'm real curious. Who's watching right now? Well, how do you feel? Do you think that the Epstein files are a hoax
I don't know if the poll's accurate.
created by the Democrats
I think he's had a
because
bad
Trump is
moment,
doing so
really
well?
Bad moment. But he's
Tell
a
me
good
if you
person.
think that's
I believe
the
that.
truth.
Keeping that 10-12 day deadline.
China facing potential secondary sanctions for
Yeah.
Russian oil. Them having that tariff or sanction rather or not hinges on what going forward.
It may happen. I mean, I don't know. I can't tell you yet, but we did it with India. We're doing it probably with a couple of others. One of them could be China, yes.
Are you keeping that 10 to 12-day deadline that you had given Russia after today's talks?
Yeah, we're pretty much getting close to it right now, but we're having very serious talks right now about getting out of Ukraine, getting it settled, getting it ended. Should have never started, would have never started. If I were president, it would have never started. I want to thank Tim Cook. He's a great man, a visionary, a businessman, just about every quality you can have other than athleticism. I don't know about that. I'm looking at him. I'm not 100% sure about you. You're a good athlete. I'll bet you're pretty good. I think he's good at everything, but I want to thank you very much, Tim. Congratulations. Thank you all.
What the
very much.
fuck?
Thank you.
He just insulted the shit out of Tim Cook after all that. Tim Cook just glazed him for 30 minutes, contributed $600 billion to the United States, really just to make Trump look good. I mean, and to avoid the tariffs, obviously. But Trump just said he's a great man in every way except athleticism. That was a crazy way to end that briefing. Whew, boy. Wow, that was a good laugh there at the end. What, tell me what you all thought about that before I get out of here. Any comments, any thoughts? Man, that was really good. Shit. Yeah, people just sort of at a loss, it seems like, in all the comments. People don't know what to think about that. Was that good? I mean, obviously, $600 billion into the U.S. economy is great, but I mean, let's see what happens, right? All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for giving a shit. I'm going to try to make a news later today, but no promises. But I am going to try because I appreciate all your support. Have a great rest of your day, and I will